Hey everyone, Karnik, Serenity Wargaming and Explanations. It's your buddy and pal. We're going to look at a officer upgrade card for the Separatist faction today in Star Wars Armada. We're looking at Shu Mai. I keep messing up the name because Star Wars names, it's hard, but Shu Mai is an officer for Separatists. How can you tell? If you look at the bottom right hand corner of the upgrade card, you'll see the faction ID there for them next to their point cost, which is 4 points. How do you know it's an officer? You look in the other corner, you'll see the officer icon. In front of Shu Mai's name, you're going to see a little dot or bullet point, signifies that they are unique. And as I always do, I'm going to read through the card. I'm going to give a quick, this is how it works. It's pretty basic, but quick how it works, and then go into any specifics or anything else for this upgrade. And then talk about, uses for it, where you often will see this card, equipped to. Okay. Shu Mai. After deploying fleets, you may place 2 non-consecutive round tokens on this card. During each round matching one of these tokens, while attacking a ship, you may reroll up to 3 die. For this upgrade card, it's very straightforward. Is it a round during which you chose, one of the 2 round tokens to put on the card? Like, for example, you chose round 2 and round 4. So, is it any other round that is not round 2 or round 4? This card is not active. You cannot utilize this card. But hey, was it, you chose round 2 and round 4, and it is now round 2 or round 4? Awesome. Proceed to being able to utilize this card, which is if you're attacking a ship, you can re-roll up to 3 die. And that in a nutshell, what is this upgrade card? It is dice rerolls for the 2 rounds you've chosen. That's how this upgrade card works. Now they get more into some specifics of the upgrade. So there's no clarification or any errata or anything like that. This is very simple, straightforward, and for 4 points, it's a great upgrade card, I feel like, for 4 points, considering the benefits that you can gain. So you do have to do a little prediction, or no, let's start with the after deploying fleets part. So, for example, if this upgrade card is equipped to a ship that's been like set aside like before or during deployment, you would not be able to utilize this upgrade card effect. I've seen a few people misinterpret the after deploying fleets. Like, oh, if you're doing like hyperspace assault and they are on like a medium ship or a small ship, and you slap them, they're on there, and then you get into after deploying fleets. I've seen people be like, oh yeah, and then I put my round tokens down. It's like, well, no, because they're not active in play when they're set aside. Per set aside rules, if they've been set aside, they're not active and in play. You miss the timing. You spent 4 points. You don't get the benefit of this upgrade card. So don't ever put this upgrade card in any sort of set aside ability unless it happens to share the same timing of after deploying fleets. If then you would be able to resolve like this upgrade card first and then put them in the hyperspace. But I'm not aware of anything yet that allows somebody that shares that timing yet. For as far as I know, set aside is always before deploying fleets, and for pretty good reasons typically. But again, if for any reason you deploy this ship, it's in the middle of a game, you will not be able to utilize this upgrade card's effects or abilities, etc. Because again, the timing of the card is after deploying fleets. It needs to be on a ship that's on the table in the play area to then set the 2 non-consecutive round tokens on the card. Whew, okay, I know it's a lot. I said a lot and I repeated myself a few times, but again, sometimes you just have to repeat yourself a lot for people to understand what you're trying to convey. So for the other part of this card, though, where if you are in the round in which you're able to utilize, if the round token, if you're in a round that you put for a round token. So this is an unlimited use card, not unlimited, but there is no restriction on this upgrade card. You can use it as many times as you are attacking a ship. So it doesn't matter if it's that ship's activation or not. Is it performing an attack? Like, for example, is it doing a salvo attack? Well, then you can utilize this upgrade card. So it's really great for Providences and Recusants because they get those salvo tokens. Or even on Munificent. I can even go as far as to say they're great on Munificence. Pretty much any ship that's got a salvo, and especially with those red dice, fickle red dice, it's nice having those extra rerolls in those situations. or especially if you're using like the commander. What's their bucket? The Martuk. Great for if you're getting all those extra red dice to be able to have the ability to reroll those dice in that round. And again, so it's just anytime it's attacking, so it could be that ship's activation. Is it shooting out each side, two different attacks at two different ships? Great, you get rerolls for both those attacks. Are you being attacked, a few times in a round? Again, if you're salvoing, you can reroll dice. Now, again, specifically, this card only works attacking ships. It does not work against squadrons. It has never worked against squadrons. Some people kind of skip over that part sometimes, but does not work against squadrons. Don't let somebody who's shooting your squadrons reroll dice and say that they're using this card. Make sure you're keeping an eye on that. All right. And like I said, there's no other crazy interactions going on. It's pretty straightforward. Where you're often seeing this card paired, like I said before, is with a commander like Martuk, or some situations TF 1726. Those are like the two commanders, or even maybe Trench. I mean, it's a great upgrade card in general, but that's typically the commanders you're going to see them with. But most often you're going to see them in a combo like this, where somebody's got Patriot Fist, they've got Shu Mai on there, they've got Martuk for more dice, they have something additional, maybe they've got swivel mount batteries on there. Not so much necessarily on the Recusant support. You typically will see them on the Light Destroyer because they want to pull in that black dice with the swivel mount batteries, and then they typically are trying to resolve like a black die critical effect because they've got those additional reroll abilities, or just more red dice, and just more dice is always good. And again, why you see that combo, especially with the Patriot Fist, is because it's two more blue die. Again, you're getting the reroll of the 3 dice, so you can reroll, all these red dice or black dice, or if you're trying to fish for accuracies on your blues. It's just very, very strong combo. And it does start to kind of rack up on points if we take the commander on here, 108. But for Recusants, if they're going speed 2, they're best at speed 3 because they get all that wacky navigation going on. They typically can kind of stand off at length and just chuck all this long range dice and kind of try to skirt around the battlefield, is typically where you see this combination. So let's go ahead and throw this on the Light Destroyer here, because like I said, this is the combo you're going to see most often for a Patriot Fist, is again these swivel mount batteries. It doesn't have to be swivel mount batteries. I've seen XI7s work good. LTT is fine because this Recusant version gets it's a blue die, but if you're using the other one, I mean, there's pros and cons of using both. But again, typically a standard combo you're going to see is Patriot Fist, swivel mounts, and then either assault proton torpedoes or assault concussion missiles, one or two. In one case, I have somebody seen and used to great effect wide area barrage, because that way that way you're smacking out additional damage on targets, on a target around whatever it's shooting at from long range. So, I've seen some rare instances where wide area barrage is useful. But then, if you're looking for even more just rerolls, you can put Ordnance Experts on there for that black dice you're pulling in. I don't think that's a great use, but if you want additional insurance, what I have seen some people do is they will bring veteran gunners. They will, if the pool was really bad, they'll re-roll everything and then re-roll any additional blanks or dice with Shu Mai. So, and it's, again, for 110 points, it's a powerhouse. It's very, very strong. I think it's actually a little bit too strong. All of these in combination, but ultimately there are defenses against, again, it's still red dice. They're still fickle. Even, you can reroll all day and still roll a bunch of blanks. So that's just how things go for Armada. But let me know where you've often seen this character or this officer utilized. Maybe where there's some other things that you've been enjoying. Appreciate you watching the video today, and I'll catch you next time. Quick shout out to the sponsors of the channel. Firstly, to Otherworld Events. Regardless if you're needing assistance for event managing, planning, organizing, how to even start, or just need specific ideas for what it is you're doing that you already have a plan for, Otherworld Events can help you out. Second, to Admiral Tater Ship Shop. Admiral Tater Ship Shop, while specializing in Star Wars Armada miniature items, also has X-Wing and Legion items. If you're looking to really get some great looking acrylics on the table, whether it be holders for your upgrade cards or tokens or acrylic tokens. And most importantly, you just want a perfect range ruler with no flaws or errors in it that's going to give you exact measurements every time. Highly recommend Admiral Tater. It's the range rulers I use at tournaments. I know they're cut perfectly, they're going to range perfectly, and I'm going to get that best measurement every single time. Also, just look at everything they have available.